The Mantis tiller cultivator is designed and built to bring you years of solid, reliable performance. Now that you've received your tiller and have opened the carton, let's assemble it. You might think that assembling your Mantis tiller cultivator is going to be quite a chore. However, the process is really an easy one. Before you begin, however, let's take a look at everything that came in your carton. First, lay everything out so you can easily identify all the parts. You will find 2 upper handles, one with a throttle and one without, 2 lower handles, a pair of tiller cultivator tines, the engine assembly, 1 handle brace, 1 plastic carrying handle, and a bag of hardware. The bag of hardware includes 4 cap screws, 6 lock nuts, 2 3-inch bolts, 2 tine retaining pins, 2 handle clamps, and 1 throttle clip. In addition to these supplied parts, you will also need 2 7/16 wrenches or 2 adjustable wrenches. Now, let's begin assembling your tiller cultivator. For ease of assembly and stability, it is important to keep the engine assembly in its cardboard sleeve. Also, keep the lower handles within easy reach since you will need them shortly. Pick up a 3-inch bolt and slide it through a handle clamp as shown here. Next, take a lower handle and slide a 3-inch screw through the screw holes closest to the bend in the handle's short leg. Take the second handle and slide the screw through its screw hole located closest to the bend in its short leg. Take the other clamp and slide it on the protruding screw. Add a nut and tighten it finger tight. Hold the lower handle clamps in position while sliding the lower handles into the recessed channels just above the red fender. Insert them from the rear as seen here. When they are in position, slide the second 3-inch bolt through the second sets of screw holes. Add a nut and tighten it finger tight. Next, take the plastic carrying handle and align the lower handle ends so that they slide through the handle's guide holes. The plastic carrying handle will rest about 6 inches above the engine. For the installation of the upper handles, you will need the following parts: the 2 upper handles, the handle brace, 2 1-inch cap screws and accompanying nuts, 2 black tightening knobs, and 2 carriage bolts. Now, take the throttle handle and slide one of the 2-inch screws through the upper screw hole. Make sure the square screw head base shapes to the square handle screw hole as shown here. Now, while holding the screw in place with your thumb, raise the handle and align the screw with the lower handle screw holes. Push the screw through and attach one of the black tightening knobs. You can tighten it all the way. Next, take the throttle clip and use it to clamp the throttle cable to the upper handle. Then, repeat the process for attaching the second upper handle to the second lower handle. Tighten the knob. When you are finished, you'll be ready to attach the brace. To do this, you'll need 2 1-inch screws, 2 lock nuts, and the handle brace. Wrap the brace around the upper handle as shown here. Slide one of the 1-inch screws through the brace and the upper handle. Do this from the outside in. Then attach a lock nut and tighten it finger tight. Repeat these steps on the other side. When you are finished, use your wrenches to tighten all the nuts firmly. Your Mantis tiller will look like this when the handle assembly is complete. Now you can attach the tines. To do this, you'll need the 2 tines and 2 retaining pins. Attachment is easy. Simply turn the unit slightly on its side and line up the tine holes. Slide the tine onto the axle and use a retaining pin to lock the tine in place. Now take a closer look at this during the second tine installation. Again, turn the tiller sideways. You will notice one side of the tine hub has a circular hole, while the other has a D-shaped hole. Attach the tine so the circular hole slides onto the axle first. When the axle protrudes on the other side, it will line up perfectly with the D-shaped hole. Again, slide the retaining pin through the axle hole as shown here. You may want to set the tines up for tilling. To do so, put the tines on so that the direction of the teeth point forward, away from the operator. If you want the tines to be set up for cultivation, put the tines on so that the teeth point back toward the operator. To safely pick up the tiller, grab the carrying handle and the top of the upper handle simultaneously. This completes your Mantis tiller cultivator assembly.